Hi guys, Jarrell here, GreyWolf TV, and we are back with our couple reactions to Dog. This is going to be episode 2, but first of all, we would both like to thank all of you for your generous comments and everyone who decided to come and watch this show with us. We had a fabulous response from the first episode, especially because you all agreed that we did the right thing in choosing the original language version rather than the subpar version that was English dub. So I'm going to hand over to the missus and let her do the small recap before we move on to episode 2.
Because somebody couldn't remember it.
Part of it.
Okay, so we're in a small town in Germany and we have a teenager that has gone missing. We find out later in the show that he has a stash hidden. He was a naughty drug dealer.
Yep.
And the teenagers have gone looking for the stash where he kept it in this cave. They brought along the younger brother of one of the teenagers because he was stuck babysitting. They hear a strange noise
In the tunnel,
it's coming from the tunnel, so they all peg it like you do when you hear something weird. And as they were making their escape, the little boy seems to have disappeared. So they sent out a search party that night and continued in the next morning, and they have found a body of a kid.
But it's not him.
No, it seems to be from the 80s. And what we learned earlier is that one of the police officers had a brother that went missing in 1986. So what we want to know, what we've been dying to know all week, is this the body?
Yeah, and what I really want to know, that they still haven't told us or shown us, is what was in that damn letter that he left for her to open at 10:13 p.m. on November the 4th, was it?
Something like
that, but you know what I mean. Right, so let's just get straight on with things. This is episode 2. That's it, sorry, a few hours after.
Okay. Ew.
What the hell? That's not
it's
blood.
black. I thought it was blood.
No.
Oh yeah, he saw his dad. Oh, I hate those dreams.
Das Opfer ist männlich zwischen 10 und 12, Zeitpunkt des Todes vor etwa 16 Stunden. Neben den Verbrennungen sind die Gehörgänge völlig zerstört.
Wow.
Auch das Innenohr ist völlig lediert und beide Trommelfelle sind geplatzt.
Mikael?
I thought it would lead down to there.
Die Polizei bittet die Bevölkerung um Hinweise, die bei der Aufklärung helfen können. Unterdessen organisieren Bürgervereine in Absprache mit den lokalen Behörden Suchaktionen.
Wo warst du letzte Nacht? Ich bin aufgewacht gegen Mitternacht, du warst nicht da.
Ich konnte nicht schlafen. Die Schnur war alle. Ich musste kurz zur Tankstelle.
Well, you're hiding something.
Jetzt Mickel. Es ist genauso wie damals.
Here we go.
Der tote Junge ist weder Mickel noch Erik.
Das Kind ist entstellt, die Augenpartie völlig verbrannt.
Außerdem sieht es so aus, als hätte jemand den Jungen Sachen aus den 80ern gekleidet.
There's a reason for that.
Um den Hals haben wir das hier gefunden, eine rote Kordel mit einem Pfennig aus dem Jahr 1986. Wir haben 2 verschwundene Kinder und einen toten, noch nicht identifizierten Jungen. Kontaktiert die zentrale Vermisstenstelle. Befragt jeden im Umkreis.
In der Höhle, da ist eine Tür. Ich habe eine Tür gefunden.
Das ist ein Hochsicherheitsbereich, da kommt man nicht so leicht rein.
Vielleicht ist über den Zaun.
Über den Stacheldraht? Wir sind den Zaun komplett abgelaufen, nirgends eine beschädigte Stelle.
Du glaubst es doch auch, oder?
Vielleicht ist es doch besser, wenn es jemand anders macht. Die Sache mit Erik. Die gucken doch jetzt ganz genau hin.
A miserable hotel.
Ich brauche ein Zimmer.
Okay, lunar charts.
I'm trying to look at his drawings, yeah.
Ooh, triquetra. And signs of torture. star charts. Okay, that suitcase was built for that because it's got padding around it.
Yeah.
Oh!
What the hell is that?
Like an alethiometer. It's a little hidey hole. See? Here we go.
Jeez.
Map?
Yeah. That's awfully detailed.
That's something that's been worked on for years. Wind in caves.
Durch ein schwarzes Loch zu reisen, um zu schauen, was dahinter liegt. Und welchen Preis würden wir bezahlen?
Spaghettification, but...
Wie weit wird die Wissenschaft gehen?
As far as
I think we're
necessary.
finding out.
Lasst mich den Hang absuchen. Lasst mich euren Teil der Höhlen absuchen. Bitte.
Meine Leute machen Patrouillengänge, jeden Tag. Wenn Nickel hier wäre, wir wüssten das.
Du verdammtes Arschloch! Warum machst du das? Willst du mich fertig machen? Es geht um meinen Sohn, Mann! Ich komme wieder mit dem Durchsuchungsbefehl! Und dann wirst du dieses verschissene Tor aufmachen! Warum bist du hier?
Es tut mir so leid.
Lass das bitte. Bitte.
Bad timing.
Yeah, his son's missing.
Hast du den Obendorf befragt?
Ja, wieso?
In den Akten steht, er hatte zum Zeitpunkt von Eriks Verschwinden Schicht auf dem AKW.
Ja, der arbeitet da gelegentlich als Lagerarbeiter und Fahrer.
Habt ihr das überprüft?
Natürlich.
Oh, Jocelyn. Oh, sweet Lord, what is in there? It's like a head.
Lass das fallen. Lass das fallen, hab ich gesagt.
Oh, just drugs.
Was ist das? Ist das deins?
Wir haben das zusammen gemacht. Erik und ich. Hier und da was verkauft. An der Schule.
Warst du gestern im AKW?
Gestern? Nein, wieso? Wo ist mein Junge?
Ich weiß es nicht, Jürgen.
The minute he saw the pennies, he was thinking.
Yeah. Uh-oh, that's Eric.
Is he getting up again?
Yeah.
Jared's like,
No.
there you go.
I knew she was white.
He's important right now.
Yeah.
The hell?
The power is going out in this place that's supposedly
It's not
nuclear
just going out,
powered.
it's surging.
Yeah. What I mean is it's a nuclear power grid, so it shouldn't be fluctuating like that. It should be
It
stable.
it'll be on or it'll be off.
Yeah, and it's just killed all the
All the
birds.
wildlife is dying. Which would normally tend to suggest
Electromagnetic.
or radiation, one of the two.
Where is Michael? Mickle. But I don't think it's 2019.
I don't know, we'll find out.
We're gonna run home and it ain't pure home. Nope, there we go. That isn't gonna work. that's the 80s.
Wer bist du?
Yeah.
Wieso? Wer bist du?
Meckel.
Is that your dad?
Ulrich.
Thank you.
Willst du jetzt Wurzeln schlagen oder was?
Chernobyl.
986. Yeah, I was right. That kid came back. He's gone in his place like a vacuum.
Ah, crap. Right, that was quite interesting. There wasn't a massive amount that moved it forward, but we're getting a few little bits of information and bits and pieces of storyline that is moving forward. What got me was, what the hell's going on with this nuclear power plant? There's obviously some massive involvement that we don't know anything about yet, other than the fact that they are completely stonewalling the police in any sort of investigation and not allowing anyone near their property whatsoever, even it's through the caves, to allow them to even find a kid, which in normal circumstances would be completely benign. Why wouldn't you allow them to do that? What the hell are you hiding?
Yeah.
Why would you not just allow the police to come and go, yeah, he's not in the tunnels, right, off you go?
Yeah, because they're involved.
It's a security risk. It's a nuclear power plant. It's not the NSA. You know, it's not a government facility where there's secrets held. It's just a nuclear power plant. So there's that. And the fact that this kid has now just turned back up now, and it's showing that guy with the hood.
Yeah.
Checking into that hotel, which is a creepy hotel, by the way.
Yeah.
Very creepy. And he's got all that stuff with him. I don't want to know what that machine is that he's got. And it seems very old.
It does seem very old. It reminds me of the alethiometer from his Dark Materials, which is a fantastic piece of machinery that allows you to ask it questions, and it responds by using, in that universe, dust, which is like the space particles, to tell it. But you saw with all the stuff on the wall, not serial killery at all, by the way, all the stuff on the wall seems to be pointing towards, like, I don't know, phases of the moon and alignment of the stars and, you know, astrological events that could be leading to why this happens on this particular day. The old man from the first episode who's like, it's happened, it's going to happen again, it's already happened. So they're already aware of a pattern emerging as to when these events take place.
But there also seem to be tying space-time into it, and the power plant and all of that at the same time.
That's what I mean.
Well.
Well, if you're going to do space-time, you know, it's star dates. You've got to have something that's fixed that you can use to change time. You can't use the Gregorian calendar that we use, because that's, you know, we have leap years. We have a leap year this year.
Yeah.
That's not fixed enough. But suppose working from the stars and the position of them in our sky, you could probably use that to map the time aspect, as well as using the literal space for the time-space continuum.
There is several different routes they could be going down here with this. I have a feeling the route they're probably going to be using, because a couple of the depictions it's showing in some of those pictures that we've already seen as well, I don't know if you picked up on any of them, it's kind of showing something that looks like a wormhole.
Yeah.
So whether they're going down the wormhole theory of bending time, I don't know.
Which you could do.
I think that's kind of where they're leading towards it. But it's intriguing to see that the power plant seem to know everything that's going on. The town and the police seem to know not what the hell is going on, and they don't seem to have made the connection between the boy that they've just found from the 80s with the Walkman and everything. No one there. I mean, I'm sure there must be people at the police station.
Why has no one run a DNA test yet to see who
sure
that is?
There's people at the police station that have been working there many years, and that were there in the 80s when all of this occurred, and no one has put two and two together that this is that kid, that it's not just they did that investigation as though it was making out like somebody planted all this 80s stuff on him. Oh, he's dressed in 80s clothes.
But I think the old timers of the town do know what's going on, and I think what happened in the 80s may have been a cover-up. And maybe it's not there for the police, you know, it's sat there in evidence lockers for them to be able to go back through. Maybe it's the reason they're not getting 2 and 2 together is because there isn't a trail from back then to be able to follow on from. Personally, for me, the fact that if I was Ulrich and my brother went missing in the 80s, the first thing I'd be doing is going, I know this is going to sound freaking crazy, but could you run a DNA test? And I know you're not going to have him in file or anything, but a familial match with me, because it's weird that we found a body that's supposedly from the 80s, even if you go, well, it can't be because the decomp doesn't match and you could be staged with 80s clothes, whatever.
Yeah.
That would have been my first thing, like, humour me right now because I'm going crazy because my son's missing. Can we just make sure that this is, because no one else has reported a missing kid right now.
You're right with that at least do a familial match, even though they wouldn't have had his DNA on record back then because there wasn't any DNA records back then. And even if there were, none of those records would probably have been digitised because as far as I'm aware, I think most government records throughout most of the world, anything pre-2000 is still a written document. It's not been digitised, but you'd be able to match that kid is a family match to him.
Yeah, and his DNA will be on record. So, he's an officer.
All I know is at the moment is he is going through it, and the only thing he's trying to concentrate on at the moment is finding him. And the guy at the power plant's blocking him, and the last thing he needs is her turning up trying to continue the affair on. I mean, what the?
Especially when your son was the one that was with him when his son went missing.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether Mikkel comes back or not, your ship has sailed. That's over. Yeah. As far as he's concerned, your boy let his boy down. Yeah. So you need to stop thinking with your lady bits and just be there for him.
I'm still trying to work out what this burning is on the eyes. We know what it is they're putting across their eyes, and I can see it's got like those copper coils around it.
It feels like the Faraday cage from Lost.
Sort of, something to do with like I said, with some sort of electromagnet that they've got around them. But what she said they'd found in the autopsy of him about the inner ears have been destroyed.
Yeah. I've had an eardrum burst. It's very painful.
Yeah, but the way that she explained it, saying that it's been completely destroyed, like it'd been put in a what was it? She'd put in like
centrifuge.
A centrifuge. Yeah. I mean, damn, what's that about? I want to know more about that.
Well, see, that's what I say when he was saying about being, a black hole, would we be able to go through it? Well, no, because of spaghettification, as we know from now.
Which is the stupidest word ever.
I want to slap whichever scientist came up with that. You'll be strung out like a piece of spaghetti. Spaghettification is not a word, but apparently we're using it.
But that is the word they've used.
But this is what they're trying to do, I think, is to approach time travel and be able to put a body through it and back out of it. Now, maybe using the little contraption around here, like the RoboCop helmet, is so that you can experience it mentally rather than physically having to go there. I don't know, because we've already seen an 80s kid come back from
perfectly
there to 2019 and a 2019 kid back in 1986.
But we've also seen other ones of them come back dead in that state.
So I have no idea what's going on right now.
Are some being used as a successful test? Are some being used as a beta test? Are some being used literally just as guinea pigs? Or we don't know.
And it's not, and there's been no adult in it.
No.
It's all been not being prepubescent, but teenage, young people, sturdy DNA that can take it.
In other words, like you say, not necessarily prepubescent, but kids, in effect, still kids that are still at least going through puberty. And
the mind
something to do with it, and the mind is a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. I can't think of the word, but there's a word.
We'll find the word for next week. I know exactly what you mean. They mentioned it in 13 Reasons Why when they were talking about her and why she ended up taking that particular route for death, and because your reason centers aren't fully formed yet as an adult, so everything seems terrible and dire because you don't have that higher reasoning to go.
The brain.
Stuff can change. This isn't permanent.
Yeah, the brain is more pliable at that age.
It's more, more, I don't know, it's not even suggestive, but everything's more intense. It's very life and death. Your hormones are still running. The pituitary gland hasn't fully formed yet, so.
No. Needless to say, between the two of us, we have some weird theories between
We're
us
working on
because
some theories,
we watch so many weird programs and so much different types of sci-fi that a million things jump into our head at once, and sometimes we're right, sometimes we're not right. But we are only on episode 2, and I'm sure our theories and our evaluations and analysis will change as we go through the series. But I really enjoyed that. I thought that was good.
Half the fun's trying to work it out as you go along. That I like a TV show or a movie that challenges me, so that when I start it, I'm not 20 minutes in going, well, I know exactly where this is going.
Yeah, there's
because we've consumed so much of this type of genre of TV shows and
just
that
leading you. Yeah.
No, I mean because we're massive fans of sci-fi and horror and stuff that we've seen most story types play out. So I like something that has me continuing to theorize where it's going with stuff. Give me little red herrings here, or
that's the whole
little
point.
teaser
That's the
points
fun.
there. That's the point of watching
of
the show, is to work it out, is to not have it all completely spoon-fed to me. Now, one of the actors that I am enjoying, even though he's barely said 2 words to me yet, is the lady cop's husband, who seems to be massively losing his stuff. Wasn't the word I wanted to say. And he has something to tell her that's relevant to this case, and we don't know what it is yet. He's just losing it slowly in a car and saying the Lord's Prayer over and over again.
He hasn't said much at all.
I'm intrigued. This character intrigues me already. I want to know what's going on. There's levels and layers in there that I want to get to.
I'm sure we will get some dialogue from him at some point. But I really enjoyed that. That was good. I'm looking forward to episode 3. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget, if you want to see more episodes of this, we are doing them 1 a week at the moment, and the best way to do that is to hit the subscribe, turn your notifications on, and that way you will know when the next video releases. We will be back with another episode of Dark next week, so until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you for the next one.
It's good night from him.
And it's good night from her. See you later, guys.
See ya.
Take care.